ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bald Explorer Live. I hope you're well and dandy and feeling randy. Thought I'd start today with the old Jimmy Young theme. If you ever remember it on BBC Radio 2, back in the old days. Oh, I used to like Jimmy Young. Bless him. It is the 9th of March 2018. I'm Richard Vobes. I'm the Bald Explorer. I go around the country exploring things and bringing little productions for you, the lovely viewer, to be entertained by. That's my remit. And of course I do these live shows here on Facebook, on the Bald Explorer Facebook page. Yes. They are then rebroadcast. Can we do that again, please? I slightly muffed up. They are then rebroadcast on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is a rerun. It's not a live show. If you're watching on Facebook, when I do it live, it is a live show. If you're watching the rerun on Facebook, well, you've got the idea. It's so lovely to be here, and it is the end of the week, end of a long and arduous week. And actually, as soon as I pack up the show today, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as I finish the show, I have actually got to derobe the whole studio because I'm hot-footing it up to Shrewsbury and going to be performing the Bald Explorer live show from our Shrewsbury office, which is or Shrewsbury, as some people prefer to call it. And, you know, I'm open-minded, although I've been told it's Shrewsbury, but people tell me it's also Shrewsbury, and I always get, you know, whatever I do is wrong, so I know that. So just bear with me. If you don't like it, lump it. So yes, from the Shrewsbury office, we will be broadcasting tomorrow night as an extra. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? With the lovely Harriet and, of course, the wonderful yappy Lola. Who actually may be fast asleep. Harriet was telling me that poor little Lola gets very tired in the evenings. Well, she is a little Dachshund, and I think now she's about 3, so what's that? It's about 21. You know what 21-year-olds are like. So here we are, another Friday night comes round so quickly. And welcome. Let's see who's actually out there and say a few hellos. So, immediately I see Alex, Russell is there, Elaine, Cynthia, Mark, Wynne, hello to you. Nothing like hearing that tune. Love it. Well, you know, had to pull it out of the hat. Frank Carver is there, Maggie Walters, Brian T. Strong. Hello, Brian T. Strong. It's nice to see you. Thank you for coming along and seeking out the old Vobe, like a member of the old family, rolling home, drunk. No, not drunk, not what I'm talking about. Rolling in to say, hello, remember me? Yes, I do. It's so nice. From Ohio. Yes, indeed. That's really cool. James Tomlinson has also arrived. Newport Shapwick, which is a curious name, but lovely to have you all the same. And many more I know will be coming. Now, I've got a fun-packed show. Well, I hope it's fun-packed. It's certainly packed with stuff. Look at all that lot there written on a bit of paper that I wrote only a few minutes ago in my mad panic as I'm pulling out the old hair lobes from the follicles out of the bald scalp. That's what I tend to do. Anyway, you're all very welcome and it's all very exciting. So yes, tomorrow, most important, an extra show. So please, no going out onto the town on the old razzmatazz. No leaving your abode. Make sure you clock in, usual time, same place, but tomorrow, special show with the lovely Harriet and the yappy Lola. So that will be good. And as I say, I'm packing up everything from the studio and I am hoping that I do not forget that key little ingredient that is that tiny little, like a Lego piece that you plug in that makes everything work, and without it, it's all doomed, Captain Mannering. You're all doomed, Captain Mannering. You're doomed. They don't like it, Upham. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Sorry, just getting into the mood. Just getting into the mood, ladies and gentlemen. Just get into the mood. So anyway, that's what's happening tomorrow. Now, I notice everyone's been posting some very exciting pictures. We'll get to that. I like to sort of delve in and see what's going on in the Bald Explorer group. We have this special group. The reason I've got the group, by the way, just so you know, because there's the Bald Explorer page and then there's the group. And the group is where you guys can talk to each other and communicate and post things and you know, do all the usual sort of, I don't know, extramarital services and whatever it might be. You know, you can get together illicitly and have little secret chats, and I'm sure it's all very above board. But I like to delve in there from time to time and just make sure there's no rough stuff going along. If there's any fighting, I get in there and, oi, stop it now, don't pick on him. He's bigger than you, remember, and he's got a bigger fist. Yeah. So I'm sure none of that happens because we're a very friendly lot, aren't we? We're a very friendly lot. That's what I like to think. So that's all good. And every now and again I go in, I have a look at some of the pictures that you're posting. Obviously I post a load of nonsense there. I don't expect anyone to look at it, but I do occasionally post the odd thing. And it's our place where we can all gather together, which is very nice. So I'll be having a look at some pictures on that. I want to show you some footage. I have been going through the archive, ladies and gentlemen. I was searching for one thing. You know how you do? You know how you know what it's like? You're searching for something and you go, it's on this hard drive somewhere. Where the blooming heck is it? I've put it on the hard drive and I don't remember where it is. It's in a file I haven't catalogued properly. Oh, did I do it by date? Did I do it by name? Did I do it by colour? Did I do it by a bit of string with a knot in? I don't know. Why have I gone like this up that north? Oh, heck. Oh, me whip it. I know. I whipped it over here. Sorry, I've just had a slight mental aberration. Does happen from time to time, don't you know? Oh, I know. Absolute. Anyway, yeah, you know what it's like when you're going through the archive and you spot things and you go. It's like opening up photo albums or going through old shoe boxes of love letters and things, and you're looking for one thing and you open up another thing and it's, you know, like a love letter from somebody. Dear Sharon, I love you. I loved you since I first put my eyes on you. You are the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world. Yours, Richard 5. I didn't know anybody called Sharon at 5. I did actually genuinely make that up. But actually, it does remind me, when I was about 10, oh, I hope Corinne's not out there because she'll probably remember this. We went on holiday to Studland Bay, when I was about 10. And my parents were at that point where they couldn't stand each other and they were arguing and all the time. And they decided that we'd all go on a family holiday, a nice caravanning holiday at Studland Bay. And off we trundled. We hitched up the Sprite caravan to the Morris Traveller 1100, and from Horsham, where we lived in West Sussex, we trundled down with my dad stopping every 20 minutes going, oh, I think we better have a break now, and Mum going, oh, for goodness sake, Trevor, come on, let's make some distance, we haven't even got past Worthing yet. And so, yeah, we went to Studland Bay, which, for those who don't know, people in Ohio, like good old Brian T. Strong, that's down on the south coast in the lovely Dorset area. It's beautiful down there, very lovely. Studland Bay. We had a campsite there. As I say, I was about 10. And as you do, you know, as kids, you meet other kids. And I remember leaping out, as soon as we arrived, I remember leaping out of the car whilst my dad was mucking about with the caravan. Mucking about? Yeah, that's right, mucking about. He was mucking about with the caravan. Mucking about? Yes, he's mucking about. Just leave it. Stop doing it. Every time I say mucking about, will you stop doing it? Mucking about? Yes, stop it. I'm so sorry. I do apologise. It's the other side of me. The dual personality. No, it's not. Yes, it is. That's right. So he was mucking about with the caravan, and there was this young girl. Who was sort of skipping about. And I took myself off, because I was a bit of a loner, you know. I've always been a bit of a loner. So I went off and I don't know quite what I was doing. I was putting bits of stick into a fence on this campsite. There was only about 3 other caravans. So I was away doing this, and she sort of came over and was watching me. And I remember, I didn't say anything to anybody else, and if Corinne is listening, this has come as a complete shock to her, but I remember, her name was Julie, and for the first time, girls had nothing. I was not interested in women, girls, or anything. When I was, apart from Miss McTanley at Aronside, who was a blonde, she must have been about 24, 25. She was a blonde teacher. Of course, I was 9 when I was in her class, and she was lovely. But of course, she was a teacher, and she was a grown-up, and, you know, one had a crush, you know. She had a Morris Minor, actually, Miss McTanley. Yeah, she whatever happened to her? She probably got married, had children, got old, and, you know, got miserable. But she didn't wait for me. See, she didn't want a toy boy. That was the problem. She just didn't want a toy boy, which was a right shame. But yeah, she was a bit of a blonde bombshell, I seem to remember, Miss McTanley. If you're watching, Miss McTanley, I'm still here. Oh no, Harriet might be watching. So anyway, there was this girl called Julie, and she was from up north, and we sort of struck up a conversation, and there was that moment, you know, that sort of moment where something clicks in your brain, and for the rest of the day, I now having any emotion with another human being in my family as a kid, with a dad who was pretty emotionally disconnected anyway from his family, and having a mother who was an alcoholic and didn't know whose emotions, when she was emotions, it was telling you were a squit and wouldn't get on in life and that you were nothing. It was, you kept your emotions to yourself in our family. It was secret. You didn't do anything. And so I didn't know how to express this strange feeling that I had that suddenly came over me. There was other kids and other girls there, but this one girl it hit me. I kept it secret. And I kept it secret in my heart for all the way through this one holiday where I met her for however long we were there, 7 days, something like that. I kept it secret all through my schooling. Never had another girlfriend. Very, very rarely had a girlfriend in entire life. But this particular thing, and there was something about I did try to find her a few years ago. I tried to track her down. Couldn't track her down. I was just curious. Whatever happened to Julie? As you do. First love hit me there, and I don't know quite what that's done to me, but I remember it vividly being on holiday. Now, how the hell did I get onto that, and what the dickens am I talking about? I think I've gone completely bonkers. Let's have a look, see what you're talking about, and then maybe I can get back on track. So let's have a look. Kevin Hall says he's been on the drink again. Yeah, no, I haven't been on the drink again, thank you. It's the mead. Oh, yeah, charming that is. Good evening, Richard. Hello, everyone, says Anne. It's nice to see you. Jennifer says, I'd like to see how much is left of that bottle. Oh, would you? I see. How much is left on the bottle? Hold on 1 second then. I'm here. There we go, look. That is up to where it was, ladies and gentlemen. I have not a drop of that has passed my lips. Most of it's past my hips, but it's not past my lips, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you. Thank you for that. Hi from Rustington, says Linda Bridger. Hello, Linda. It's very nice to see you. Paul Hines says, Naturalist Beach at Studland Bay, no doubt. No. We weren't naked or anything of that. We were young. We think you're great, says Elaine. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Anyway, so keep it light, Vobes. Keep it light. Filled the bottle with tea. Oh, you know my little secret. Cheeky monkey. Yeah, as soon as I got to the end, I thought yeah, anyway. So how do I get onto any of that? No idea where I was going with that story about going on holiday and meeting Julie, and so lost the thread. That's another one. Another little a pinnacle of something important was there that's just poof, gone. Just gone. Just like the gone. Madness. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Now, an important announcement, ladies and gentlemen. I just wondered if the music was still playing. You see, I can't hear the music in here, by the way. You think, oh, he's mixing it all up. The only way I can hear the music is if I put the headphones on. Da-da-dee, da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. It's good music, though, isn't it? Anyway, the point being is I can't actually hear it, so the only way I can hear the music and monitor to know it's actually playing is I can hear it coming out of the headphones. Yeah, I know it's a strange old setup, this studio, I tell you. One day I'll have a little monitor set up so I can actually hear what's going on. I just hope that you guys can hear me, that's all. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. I must crack on. We have time schedules to fill, you know. The Pips will be here any moment, and Gladys Knight will be chasing after them. So, yes, important announcement. Thank you. Yesterday I said to you, if you are watching on YouTube, you're watching the reruns, and on Monday we're going to try a little test out, and we're going to try and broadcast on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time, simultaneously. That was the idea. Well, Martin Snow, the lovely... where is Martin Snow? I haven't seen him for a while. Martin Snow did a little bit of research, and he had a look, and he said it can't be done, but there are a few services out there that will do it for you. I said, oh, fantastic, let's have a look. He said, and they're free. They're free! And I was going, yippee! Free! I was going, yippee! And I said, wait, it looks here that there's a fee. He said, no, there's no fee at all. You're looking at the wrong thing. So I went in, and there was a company called Restream. And so what they do, Restream, is that you can connect up to something like 30 different platforms. So there's Twitch, you know, for nervous people. And then there's a whole load of other sort of things. There's Periscope for those under the sea, and all sorts of other bits and bobs. Names that I'd never even heard of that you can actually stream. So I can be on YouTube, and then I can go to maybe another 29 of these places. And then there's this other option that says you can go to YouTube, and then you can go to this select option, which is the one for Facebook. £14.99 you have to pay if you want to stream on YouTube and Facebook. £14.99. Thought, blimey, a month. That's not like a one-off payment. I'd pay that. But 15 quid? 15 quid? I mean, if we had millions of people watching, of course it'd be worth it. But, you know, this is a small little outfit. It's tiny. I've got a big woolly jumper on. I don't know why I said that. But 15 quid a month, that's a lot of money to suddenly, you know, because think that's very nearly half a tank or a quarter of a tank or whatever it is. Anyway, of petrol I'm talking about, not of blood. So anyway, so I looked around, and there is another way. There's you can use another service called Wirecast, which is a sort of semi-pro piece of kit that you use, and it will chuck out 2 streams. Yeah, that was about $695 to buy that program. And the software that I use, OBS, OBS, you fool. OBS is free. It's free. So at the moment it's free. So I'm sorry if you're on YouTube. I'm not spending 15 quid and not broadcasting to you live at the moment. So the only thing I can think that we can do, is maybe on some shows, not this Saturday, but maybe Monday to Friday we'll do Facebook, and then on a Saturday, it's more work for the old muggins, but never mind. On the Saturday, maybe do a YouTube page and then upload afterwards to Facebook. I think that might be an option, okay? Excuse me. So that's a thought, and it may be that one does like the best of the week, cut out some bits and bobs and play them in, and link up with extra bits of news. I don't know. Anyway, if you know any different to that, then please let me know. That would be absolutely good. Just see how eating for victory. Lots of people are eating for victory. Use 2 iPhones and broadcast. Yes, good evening. Yes. So well, anyway, if you have an idea, then that would be great. Marvellous. Thank you very much. And nice to see all the emojis coming along. On Monday, got another little treat for you. Yes, another woman in the studio. My sister is back. We've got problems with Mother. The same mother that told me I was a squit is the same mother that my sister and I, are still looking after. She was in hospital, because she's on the old bottle, which is actually why I don't drink. It's why I really very rarely drink, because my mother is an alcoholic, and I've seen what it does, and it's not a pretty sight. And she was drinking, she fell, she went to hospital and got discharged, and then There's I won't go into it. It's boring. It's so boring. Anyway, the point is, she's back home at the moment, but most likely by Mother's Day she'll be back in hospital, because this happens. It's a recurring thing. She'll drink a bit more. She'll fall over, and they just unfortunately the NHS, as lovely as they are. And I owe my, well, not my sight to them, because I lost my sight because they hacked my eye out, but they had to. But I appreciate everything that they did for me, and for my son, who had a brain hemorrhage and nearly died. So I'm really, really thankful for the NHS. But unfortunately, they have this weird system that, because Mum's an alcoholic and keeps falling over and she's elderly, they just don't. She keeps going in and out of hospital, and they don't seem to sort of think, hey, this must cost us about £600 every time she gets in an ambulance and is taken to hospital and has a bed and then is discharged a couple of days later and then comes back in. Why don't we put her into up the tier of support that she gets? But let's not go there. Anyway, so my sister will be in on Monday, and she'll be here. I'll be back in Sussex, and we will be doing another show. Goodness knows what. We'll think of something. She said she's going to bring something from Devon. So that would be fantastic. That would be amazing. So she's going to bring something from good old Devon. Right, so let's have a look at some of the pictures then that people have been posting in the group, because I've gone and had a quick shufty around. Hang on, let's get in there. So first of all, have a look at this one. This is from Chris DeSantos, who's put up a picture of Old Salts Farm Road in Lancing. It's lovely. Look at that, in full leaf. It looks beautiful there. It looks absolutely delightful. I'd love to be walking down there and having a little gander. This is great because it gives me ideas for places to go. So anyway, so that's that one. What else have we got? Hold on a minute. Just trying to find where have I put the pictures. Here we go. So now this one, cows. Yes, Dave Baker has put some cows out there, and I was trying to work out where that was, because it would be very helpful if you could tell us where these places are. And it wasn't until he put this picture up, which I looked at that and I thought, is that from Petworth? Because I remember a view looking like that, because I lived in Petworth for 2 years. I lived in Petworth, and I remember the Gog and Magog, which I think are the hills just to the east of Petworth, if I have got that right. So I'm not sure, but do let me know if that is correct. And then, of course, from that hill to this view. Yeah, look at that. That's Maggie Walters' picture. Hay Bluff. Apparently, I think she and her husband went up there on the 6th of March, is what I can gather, which is fantastic. And not far from that is Lord Hereford's knob. And if you've got Lord Hereford's knob, please can you put it back, because he is walking with a limp. I believe that is Mr. Walters, Maggie's other half. Look at the way, I mean, it looks pretty precarious up there. I wouldn't like to be falling down there, and pretty chilly as well, all that lovely snow. But thank you so much for putting these pictures up. I think they're terrific. Now, here we go. Do you know where this is? This is a church. It's in a place called Bremer. Bremer, or Breamore as it's spelt, Breamor, is in Hampshire, but I believe it's supposed to be pronounced Bremer. I double-checked on that. And it's sort of a few miles, about 8 miles south of Salisbury. Paul Hine stuck this one up. It's a beautiful, lovely church, and it's an important church because it's a Saxon church. But then I was very intrigued by this. Paul, what is this? Is it some family vault? Is it a secret underground chamber that goes under the earth? Where does it go and what is it for? I'd love to get the key to the padlock and go venturing in. It is definitely a place the Bald Explorer needs to go to. So thank you for posting that. I'm absolutely I'm curious. That's the word I was looking for. So that's good. Reasons to go up north, says Robert. Now, I don't know how you pronounce your surname. Is it Crozer or Crosser? Robert gives us reasons to go. Aye, go up north, see some nice castles, lovely landscape, but more than that, lad. Oh, aye. I'll tell you what there's up there. Hang on, I've got to get a picture. Hang on, wait for it. Wait, just wait, patience is virtue. Here, look at that, lad. See? Hey, what's that? It's got strange hieroglyphics on it. Don't know what it means. It's a sort of perpendicular thing, sticks up into air, where Whippet can go and have a little relief in of itself, aye. But more than that, there's lots of these weird little fellas. I don't know, they look like strange trolls to me, but they're all over the place. Sorry, I don't know why I've gone into a northern accent. I do apologise. It's very, very rude of me. Yeah, so thank you for that. That's absolutely amazing. Lots of lovely pictures going on in there. Also, I was too late to grab hold of them. Cushy Phil has got a picture of the tank on the Downs, some lovely pictures of the tank on the Downs. I did a video about that not so long ago. And Peter Chappell has put a picture of Romsey Abbey, which, again, another great place. These are wonderful suggestions, and I'd love to go and visit them, make a video of exploring them. And so thank you very much for that. They are terrific. Okay, I'm going to play in a video now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play in a little video. It gives me a chance to go and have a glass of water and a lie down. It's not very long. I was rummaging... Oh, yes, this is the archive business. Went through the archive. That's where it was. That's how I got onto Julie. I've remembered because of going through old love letters and the first love and oh... I've got the connect. So there was Julie, met Julie. We did write to each other for a while after the holiday, and I still got the little love letter. The letters. I didn't know how to deal with the love business. My heart was going like that. And then went to secondary school, and of course it was all a bit crass, and it wasn't what I had with this. You know, because we didn't touch anything, we didn't do anything. So that's what I've, going through the archive, you come across these old things that sort of had meaning to. Anyway, so I was going through the archive. My point was, this is the point I was trying to make. I was going through the archive and I found something from my past that I had done in 2008. And this was an idea. Not a television series. It was an idea for an online program. This predates the Bald Explorer, where I was going around interviewing and filming local food producers. I called this thing The Harvest. I had a website and I was going around Sussex and interviewing various people about it and filming this sort of documentary style. Now today I put one on the Bald Explorer page. You may have seen it or you may not have seen it, you may not have had a chance to see it, but it's up there with this lovely lady called Petra, who unfortunately her husband had died only a few months earlier. Now I'd interviewed her and her husband I think the previous year on a podcast on the old Vobes show, and we'd interviewed them and we'd had a lovely day. And then I was doing this thing and I got back in touch with her and she said, oh, sadly, her husband, I can't remember his name now, unfortunately, but he had died. And I said, well, I was going to suggest this, but you're making a little documentary about what you're doing on your little nursery, your organic nursery. And I said, but, presumably you probably don't want to do that now because it was only a few months ago. She said, no, it would be great. Do come. So I filmed that. That was one of them. And then I filmed one at an open day at a farm. Mile End Farm, which is just towards Hove towards Southwick and all round there. Mile Oak, beg your pardon, Mile Oak, not Mile End. That's in London, silly man. So I found that and I thought, well, I'll play it in. It's 2008 and it is an open day, but I interviewed the farmer and it just made me thought about expanding some of the Bald Explorer stuff that I do. So I just thought I would give you a little chance to have a look at that whilst I go and have a cup of tea, and it gets me off the screen for a moment. It's certainly true to say that the public are becoming more interested in where their food comes from and how it's produced these days. And many farms are actively opening the doors to allow people to get a taste of farm life. We've already been to Mile Oak before in the programme with Granstead's Ginger, and Mile Oak Farm held its open day in mid-July.
This is the third one we've done. We didn't do one last year, but it's the third one. I think it's very important. I think the public like to see where the food's come from, and also it helps publicise our farm shop, which is
How long have you been running the farm shop?
Well, it's grown over the last 5 years.
when you come in, you see all the animals running around.
That's part of its charm, I think. A bit rustic.
Yes, absolutely.
We recently started selling our own beef, and that's very popular. Yeah.
What's the roots of Mile Oak Farm?
The roots. My grandfather came here during the war, and so I'm the third generation.
And what were you principally farming then?
Dairy and arable and beef then, but we're now doing beef and arable and the farm shop.
You've got an assortment of chickens and other animals here. I gather that's not your responsibility.
No, that my wife Julia. That she likes to breed rare breeds and chicken and ducks and that sort of thing. So that's her responsibility.
And you're raising money, didn't you say?
Yes, we're raising money for the Martlet's Hospice and the Rocking Horse Appeal for the Children's Hospital.
So if you get the chance to attend a local farm open day, I would thoroughly recommend it. It's always good to connect with the land and see some of those peculiarly shaped farm equipment. And of course, there's all the fun rides on tractors and trailers. And David says that Mile Oak Farm Open Day will be back again next year. Meanwhile, don't forget to visit his farm shop.
So there we go. It was quite fun, wasn't it? It's a little bit of a diversion. I'll hunt through those old videos and stick them up. I've got, I think I've got Bookham's Pasta. I've got the High Wheel Dairy. They made cheese. There's a little farm of chicks and various bits and bobs, I think. Anyway, and a brewery went to. If you're interested, I'll stick them out. I'll bung them in the group over the next week. I won't be able to do it whilst I'm away. But anyway, so that was it. I'm interested. I just looked at some of the comments, and obviously people are talking to me and saying hello and what have you. But I noticed that Alex was saying, "Oh, it keeps freezing." Are you getting problems with the stream in real time? And I don't know what I can do about that, because you see, when I look at the recorded version, it's obviously gone up okay, so it must be how it then is delivered from Facebook. And if it is a big problem, then it may be that we could give YouTube a try and see if that sorts out the problem. I'm very much open to suggestions, and I'm in your hands, so do let me know what you think. This is, collective thing. What I don't want to do is, if you're all on Facebook, I don't want to suddenly disappear onto another platform where you're not interested. So, a couple more things before I go, because I know you've got a very busy Friday night. You're all itching to get down to wherever it is, the Working Men's Club, no doubt, because I'm sure they'll be giving away a steam shovel, like they did in Laurel and Hardy. So, now, a couple of things. Here's one of them. I was given this. Not that. I was given... Oh, yes. It was just play this in. Tomorrow, just this is a bit of silly. Tomorrow, going up, as you know, to see Harriet, and of course the lovely Lola. Now, what happens if you give a dog a grapefruit? Do dogs like grapefruit? Let's have a look. She's a silly dog, isn't she? She's a silly dog. Anyway, we hope that Lola will be there tomorrow, which will be rather nice. Now, here we go. I was alerted to this by the lovely Julia. She said you probably already heard about this. This is the Saxon Sussex Hidedown to Hastings. It's a weekend, apparently. It's a weekend that's coming up very soon. And where it is it's a weekend of going around the South Down Society for a tour of the local Anglo-Saxon churches, starting at the wonderful Sumpting Church and then followed by a walk up the Ada Valley to visit the beautiful churches at Botolphs and Coombs. It's on the 27th and the Saturday the 28th of April. Sounds like a bit of a hoot. So I thought maybe we could get some people together if you fancy a little trip around some of the churches and, you know, go and take some pictures, maybe do a little bit of a video. And there's going to be some fighting, reenactment, Saxon fighting and all that sort of stuff. So I just thought it would be quite interesting. At first I said to Julia, I said, oh, well, we could go and just film some of this. And it just occurred to me, maybe all of us might want to go along. So bung that in your diary. It's as I say, it's, I've just lost the website now. Where is it? It's the 27th and 28th of April. That's the date, and at 9:30 on the Friday and the Saturday the 10 p.m. Anyway, it's on the Worthing's Museum, worthingmuseum.co.uk's website. So have a look at that, and maybe, I mean, I don't know, I'm talking off the cuff of my head. I haven't had a cuff on the head, not for a long time, but you never know. I always put my foot in it. Someone's bound to smack it. So that was that. Also, the lovely Julia, remember when she came in on the show and I asked her about ghost hunting, and she said, oh yes, I used to go and look for ghosts, do guided ghost tours at the Round Tower in Portsmouth. And I said, oh, wouldn't that be great to go and do that? Well, she sent me some pictures, actually, of the Round Tower. Well, I did a bit of research. Here's the Round Tower. It's actually a pretty old piece of building. The Round Tower was built around 1418 to defend the entrance to Portsmouth Harbour and prevent raids on the city by French ships. So it's a pretty robust... Here's another picture of it. Here we go. It looks pretty gruesome. What else have we got about it? It's one of the biggest highlights for many visitors is following the Millennium Promenade and taking in the views across Portsmouth Harbour from the top of the Round Tower. But it's how about inside where all the ghosts are? That's what Julia was telling us. Here's a close-up view that Julia sent round. And then I'm not quite sure what goes on here. Somewhere where you can nip in and... anyway, she's done a load of ghost tours in the past. And she's going to ask the people who have the Roundhouse whether we can go and film there, which would be great. Oh, here's the Millennium Promenade. There's a little plaque on the floor. I don't really know too much about it, but anyway, there it is. So that will be fantastic. So looking forward to doing that. She's a fount of all sorts of interesting things. So thank you, Julia. That's been absolutely marvellous. If you've got some news and things and events and bits and pieces that might be going on, you think we could either go as a group or that we can send a reporter out. Another idea I had is, wouldn't it be great in the live show, you saw little Lola there and you saw my little bit on Mile Oak thing, wouldn't it be great if you're out and about and you're walking somewhere and you take your camera or your little phone, I haven't got mine with me, and you were to just film perhaps a couple of minutes worth of stuff and send it in to me. I could then edit it together and maybe put a bit of a voiceover on, or you put the voiceover on, and we'd play it out in the live show. And I can play them out, and it would be great. So you'd be like roving reporters for the live show. We're full of ideas here. We're full of it. We're full of something. No, but wouldn't that be great? I'm just keep thinking of how can we make this more inclusive, have less of me. I mean, I'm the glue that oozes out the cracks, unfortunately. But I want to get you're posting the pictures, but some video would be great to post in. Say, hi Richard, I'm on top of the so and so mountain, and here's the view across the thing, and wishing you were here, and all the rest of it. I wish you were here to buy me a nice slap up meal. Yeah. I wish I was there too. So give that some thought. What do you think? Be interested in your thoughts about that. Let's go back and see if anyone's suggesting it. A very good ghost tours in Shrewsbury. Yeah, must do some of that as well. Thank you, Adrian Brown. A hell of a hike from Cornwall. That's true. Elizabeth Brazier has got lots of ghosts going through. A few hearts on the old emojis. Gary will love this, says Malcolm Berry. Yeah, we must get Gary involved. There must be some ghosts at Shoreham Fort. Maybe we can camp out. Wonder if Gary Baines at Shoreham Fort, maybe we can camp out one night and do a bit of a moonlight thing and maybe make it live. Could we do that live? We could go live. Say we did. This is me thinking on the spare of my moment now. Spare of my moment. We'd have to get some internet connection. But we could go live and we could have a live feed. And even if we didn't do it all the time, but we could go on the hour, 8 o'clock for 10 minutes, then at 9 o'clock and then at 10 o'clock until midnight, say. Just seeing, and people could check in from time to time to see if there's any ghosts or anything happening. Something to think about. Just an idea. Roving reporters, says Maggie Walters. There we are. We've got our first one. Are you signed up for it? Send in a report. We'll play it in the show. Gary Baines, there he is. Who would want less of you, Richard? Keep doing your thing. I know, but it enhances it. It enhances it. Anyway, you've heard my request there. Full of great ideas. Full of something. LOL. Yeah, thanks, Andy. That's very kind of you. That sounds a really good idea, says Dave Baker. So I'm just trying to do things where we can do stuff together. Maybe we could get a gang of us somewhere on a haunted house and trying to, tell each other stories or real stories around the fire, make it live. People can join in, tell stories from wherever. There's this format. There's so much we can do. It's absolutely fantastic. So, done the Saxon weekend, done the Roving reporters. We're up to speed, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to speed. So there we go. So if you've got any more ideas, send them in. richard@vobes.com is my email address. You can, of course, message me on here. But now I'm going to end fairly quickly now because I've got to pack all this lot away. I'm going to upload the YouTube stuff, then pack all this stuff away, make sure I don't forget anything, and then I'm up at about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, loading up the car and leaving at 6 to head up to Shropshire. We're hoping to go up the Lawley tomorrow, Harriet and I and Lola. Hopefully, I just hope and pray that little Lola does not chase any sheep, because she does like sheep. And she's off. She's got a pea brain, and there's no point calling after her. If she sees the sheep and she's off the lead, boom, she's gone. She's gone, and we've had mad panics because she's so thick, so stupid. We don't know whether she'd ever find us again, and we don't know if we'd find her. But so far we have. But we have to be so careful. We have to have eyes like hawks looking out for those sheep. Anyway, we hope to go up and climb up the Lawley and make a video, and we're going to be live at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. So that's all very good. And so there we are. There we go. Where's my bit of music? Where's my bit of music? Where's my lovely bit of music? Hello, it's gone. Oh, yeah, there we are. Number 1. Thank you. When you hear that, you know I'm on the way out. So lovely to see you. Terry Wood says, good idea, get some stuff down here in South Devon. My sister lives in Devon. I'm coming down to Devon fairly soon. Graham Whittington says, Alex, can you send me large files? Oh yes, you can send large files on WeTransfer. Definitely use that, up to 2 gigs. Gary says we can lock you in the tunnel. In the Caponia? Caponia? Oh, I nearly had it, Gary. Deal Dover Road has the Grey Lady, and Elaine Brazier says, I've seen her. Have a good weekend, says Malcolm Berry. Thank you, Malcolm, for coming along. I must fly, so lovely to see you. Take care, one and all. It's been an absolute hoot. Until we see you tomorrow or whenever on the replay or whatever, it's lovely to see you. Until then, goodbye!